Hello, everyone, and welcome to Star International Academy in Dearborn Heights, Midwest Premier League action live on the Detroit Badgers YouTube channel. I'm Colton Wesley, Troy United FC in town. As this season winds down, both these teams in very different situations. The conference championship has been decided. Goshen City and Cedars FC have both qualified. Both of these teams coming up to the end of their regular season with no postseason aspirations. Troy United is in the middle of the table currently. $15 points in 9 matches. A positive season for sure. Looking to end with an extra win here as July winds to a close. The Badgers, for their part, still no wins in the table. This is their 9th match. Only 2 matches left on the schedule for the Great Lakes Conference, both of them involving the Badgers. That shot from distance is headed away. Danny Watkins on the attempt for Troy. Connor Henson takes it down to the line and walks it out for a goal kick. So the Badgers' most recent fixture against Pontiac FC, in the process of being rescheduled. They're hoping that they can get that 10th game in for both of those clubs. But for right now, the Badgers will treat this as their season finale. First season in the Midwest Premier League has not gone as they had hoped. And I don't think it had any league-winning aspirations coming in. It was definitely, it's your first season in a new league. But they had hoped for some points in the table by this stage. Lifted ball over the top. It's touched aside and out by Jacob Tremonti. So you're only playing for pride at this point, but pride is something worth playing for. Second minute between Troy United and Detroit Badgers. Starting lineup for Troy United: in goal, Kuba Rocic. In the outfield, Nick Settle, Danny Watkins, Luke Nicholson, Connor Henson, Vinny Chappett, Jeb Sneed, Evan Morrison, Jackson Deere, John Nino, and Jacob Tremonti. Throw in down in that far corner. Badgers wearing all black, moving left to right across your screen. Troy United in the white. Ball flicked on into the box where it's easily held by Rocic. Ball down the line into the feet of Evan Morrison. Morrison's got lots of space. He's got some help too. Cuts it back in across at the top of the box. Tees it up himself. Fires, blocked. A good run in from Morrison. But a better block by the defender. Nick Settle decides to cut it back into the middle. And now they'll swing it all the way around to the outside, where Jeb Sneed will corral it. In the middle, this is Watkins. Pass intercepted. They'll work it back into Michael Forbes. Getting a long look at Michael Forbes today. Nelvis Nda not the starter today. Late in the season, an opportunity to give someone else a chance, see what you've got in your reserve keeper. Pass in the middle, and that's a good tackle on the edge of the box. See if the Badgers can break out here. Through the space in behind, and he's in on goal! And now the flag comes up very, very late. David Galaxy wants to know why the flag wasn't up. The assistant referee took his sweet time. First offside decision of the match. They'll work it back into Forbes. Inside Ali Zaiden. Tries to send it on ahead. This is Mustafa El Nakshali. Being defended by Settle, and the flag goes up. Foul on El Nakshali. Just trying to do a little bit too much. Starting lineup for the Detroit Badgers: in goal, Michael Forbes, Hussein Nzaleza, Daniel Silva, Mustafa El Nakshali, Victor Olabrede, Mohamed Sangare, Ron Hatram, Abu Al Gabri, David Galaxy, Ali Habhab, and Ali Zaiden. The 10 outfield players. Once again, going at that flat 4 across the back. The Badgers planning on Nzaleza and Hatram anchoring the defense. Back underway, Nick Settle. Down the line, intercepted. Al Nakshali in the middle. Battle for possession won by the Badgers. They're going to swing it around in the middle. El Gabri fires! Blocked! Picked up by David Latanga, trying to head goal, or David Galaxy rather, trying to head goalwards with it. Has to turn around, give it back to Sangare. Lifted ball across. All the way to the far corner of the box. Keeper's out to it. Victor Olabrede can't make the play on it. And Rochik falls on it gratefully. Good early push from the Badgers. Comes to nothing. 6th minute, no goals. In this final week of Midwest Premier League action for Troy United and Detroit Badgers. Lots of space in the middle for them to work. John Nino now able to turn and face. Plays it short. That ball's taken away, but foul given first. United not as interested in playing that ball over the top as some other opponents have been against the Badgers this season. A lot of teams try to test the Badgers' wingbacks, and the referee doesn't like how quickly they put that ball into play. He had called for a delay. So they'll try it again. John Nino, defended by Al Bawari. Trying to work in combination on that right side, but it's well read by Sangare, who turns it aside. Headed into the middle by Morrison, and a whistle. Watkins, the offended party, 35 yards from goal, just off the keeper's left-hand post. And maybe something here for United, 8th minute. They've sent 5 into the box. 2-man wall for the Badgers. Now they'll send a 6th man into the box. Driven into the back post and headed wide. John Nino, the one who got ahead to it. You like the shape of that set piece if you're Troy United. You overloaded one side of the box and a nice ball in across at head level. Someone got something on it. Obviously, the dream result is putting it on frame, but they should be happy with that setup. Maybe they'll go back to that look again if they have another free kick in a similar position. Mohamed Al-Bawari trying to maintain possession, but can't get through the 3rd defender. Watkins. Back to him, trying to look inward. Now instead just drops it off to his wingback. In the middle, Jeb Sneed, the captain. Working in short passing in that tight space over there, and finally, defender had enough and went in and won the ball. Olabrede tries to settle it, rolls it to himself, keeps it, cuts it back into the middle and tries to pass through too much traffic. It's knocked away. Daniel Silva jumps on it for the Badgers. Back to El Gabri. Swings it around, tries to open up the space. Zaiden cuts it back inside. Looking for some support now. Gives it back to Nzaleza. He's got Forbes, and he will use him. Forbes trying to get someone to move into some space. Finally rips one into the feet of Silva, and defender gets got by the turf monster. Al-Nakshali down the line now. Plays it down the line. That's a good ball into the space for Olabrede. Olabrede has some room, and he's got runners coming in. Plays a short ball in the middle there. Settled by Zayden, trying to cut past the defender. Tremonti able to provide the support and take it away from him. Jackson Deere down the line into space. Second ball ahead from Watkins. Got a runner in on goal, and he's going to put it away. Luke Nicholson scores on the break. The assist by Watkins. And 10 minutes in, Troy United are in front. Badgers pressed along this near wing. And it's not even that they overcommitted themselves. They just didn't do a good job in transition defense. An initial good ball ahead led to a second good ball into Watkins and a very simple ball to Nicholson, who is wide open in the space, able to walk it in and pick his spot. Cool finish. And they're going to try again over the top to Nicholson. That one had way too much on it. It'll roll into Forbes. United 1, Badgers 0. Still early days here on what is a gorgeous evening in Southeast Michigan. Temperatures in the low 80s with a nice breeze as the sun begins to set behind us in the press box. Ball won by Daniel Silva in the middle, placed to the feet of Olabrede. Tries to spin out of two defenders, can't. On to Watkins. Nice combination play between him and Jackson Deere. Deere through the space again, Nicholson. Nicholson got Nzaleza in his hip pocket, trying to ward him off. Has a go and scores again. Back-to-back for Nicholson. 2 goals, 2 minutes. Badgers looking lost in the back. Luke Nicholson not even doing anything that fancy or special. He's just putting himself in a good position, receiving the ball, able to fight off Nzaleza that time, who was right there on his left hip. Able to separate himself just enough, and again, just a cool finish to the bottom corner. Doesn't try to do too much with it, doesn't snap at it, just places it in. And a quick fire double for Luke Nicholson has United up 2-0 in the first quarter of an hour. Al-Nakshali can't keep it. Jackson Deere is knocked down by Al-Nakshali. It'll be a free kick to United. A disastrous first 12 minutes for Detroit. They've even created some chances, just haven't done a whole lot with them. And they've given United really good looks. Not stopping the through ball. Unable to get in front of Luke Nicholson. And he's already got 2 for this visiting United squad. Troy trying to close out their season with a 6th win in 10 games. A solid campaign for them. Al-Nakshali holds up the play and just going to snap at that one and send it high and wide. He had Daniel Silva over off his right side making a run into the corner. Might have been able to set up something better, but that's that frustration that can set in when you see other teams scoring goals. You find yourself down too early. And you start to get hasty, make rash decisions. Still well over an hour to play here. There's a lot of time left in this. And we've seen the Badgers come back in these situations as well. Down 1-0, 2-0 early. They've been able to battle back and get back in games. Remember them doing it at the Badger Cup earlier this season as well. That ball in is skied. Sangare gets a second hack at it and at least gets that one away to the center circle. But you got to keep your head about you. in these situations if you're the Badgers. That's a foul on Sangare. United will get the ball in quickly. Lots of space for Vinny Chappett. On the outside, Deer tees up and fires. It's blocked. We'll go out for a throw. I think Deer was hoping that he'd win a corner out of that. But in any case, it's an advanced throw for Troy United, leading 2-0 in the 15th minute of their final Midwest Premier League match of the season. That ball flighted in, a great throw in, a long throw. Watkins couldn't make the settling touch. It bounced off of him and out for a goal kick. That was a perfect throw. Right into the lap of Danny Watkins, but he couldn't get a clean touch on it. And it comes to nothing. That ball won in the midfield, and here come Troy again. Chappett fires wide. United pressing their advantage. That's the psychological advantage of a 2-0 lead on the scoreboard. You feel like the goal is open to you. You play with that extra little bit of zip. And the Badgers right now, you can see them. They're having conversation with one another, trying to direct each other, just not on the same page at all defensively in the early goings here. Michael Forbes sends it on its way. Knocked down in the midfield. El Gabri outside. Back to Silva. And all the way back into his keeper. They'll try to build something again. Sangare. Hotrum. Given away. Taken by Watkins. Outside. Now on the edge of the box. Trying to work his way in. Sal Thompson scores. No, excuse me. That's Evan Morrison scores. The giveaway. And the barn doors are open. Watched a lot of Detroit Badgers this season, and this is the most out of sorts that this back four has looked. Just lost. Not any changes to this back four either. The back four haven't really been the problem this season. Ron Hotrum, Hussein Zaleza, Mohamed Sangare, Ali Zayden. This is a normal back four for this Badgers squad, but just looking completely lost today by comparison. And United, they smell blood in the water. That pass into the box and finally blocked by Sangare, as I think it was Watkins who was trying to get that one in across, but it will go for a corner. First corner of the match for Troy. It'll be swung in from the far side. Hit well, headed, just over. That's a lovely corner, right to the near post, and climbing the ladder, Evan Morrison gets up, gets ahead to it. Couldn't get over it maybe the way that he wanted, but that corner ripped in at head level. Morrison easily wins the battle for it. If he could have gotten over it just a little bit, it would be 4-0. And I think that's the difference right now between United and Detroit at this juncture. It's just the execution. Even when United don't score on that corner kick, on the free kick earlier, the execution has been excellent. They feel very organized, creating opportunities. That throw in earlier to Danny Watkins that he couldn't finish. So many opportunities. It could be far worse than 3-0 right now. But the creation of chances and the execution have been excellent from Troy United, and for Badgers, it's been anything but. In the midfield, Silva spins around, tries to outrun the defender. That pass is knocked out for a throw by Jackson Deere. Throw in down the line. El-Nakshali tries to center it. El Gabri. Left for him again. El Gabri fires, and it rolls right into the keeper, who makes a save for the cameras. Not too difficult there for Kubarocic. His first touch of the ball. First shot on target for the Badgers. Morrison working in combination, trying to get it to Deere on the outside, but that's turned aside. Badgers in the middle, El Gabri. Sangare tries the long ball through the middle. It's denied. The second attempt gets through. El-Nakshali going to try to charge into the box. Takes too long of a touch. Well defended. Nick Settle cleared out to the top of the box. Al-Bawari trying to free himself, sends it into the box, knocked down by the defender, and cleared away. Zayden tries to settle it, taken away from him. Nicholson, scorer of 2 so far. That one's given away. Good stop there by Zayden. Zayden tries to rip in across, back out to the top. El Gabri settles, fires, stopped, rebound, yes! They've pulled one back. Victor Olabrede knew where he needed to be. Kubarocic couldn't keep it. Made the initial stop, but it bounded away from him, and Olabrede able to finish it and get the Badgers on the board. First changes being made for Troy. Evan Morrison will have a seat. Sal Thompson in for the first time. Aiden Reynolds is in. Looks like Clay Dupuis is in. John Nino has a seat. And Jackson Deere, I believe, also has exited. So Dupuis, Reynolds, and Morrison in the match for Thompson, Deere, and Nino. Sangare in the middle, hot rum. Connor Henson tries to get it ahead. Touched on through Nicholson, looking for his third, but he's offside. Luke Nicholson went back-to-back in the 10th and the 12th. Evan Morrison scored in the 18th. Badgers got their response with Olabrede just a moment ago to make it 3-1, but still down by a pair. As we've reached the halfway point of this first half. Free kick knocked down. Nicholson plays it outside. Thompson trying to run onto it. Defender gets there first. Back into Forbes. Hotram sends it away clear. Galaxy. Zayden lifted over the top. That's a nice ball in. El-Nakshali tries to settle it. Cuts away from Nick Settle. Grounded ball. El Gabri cuts it inside. Now back outside trying to free himself. Has a shot. It's blocked. Under pressure in the box, taken away. On the ground to Nicholson. Plays it all the way through. Forbes going to watch it back and put it out for a throw, and then the flag goes up late for offside. United 3, Badgers 1. Into the 26th minute. Hotram plays on the ground to Sangare in a lot of space. El Gabri back to Sangare. El Gabri. Under pressure, back to goal now, working in combination with Nzaleza, now in the middle. Silva. El Gabri. Back to Nzaleza. In the middle. Al Bawari. Tries to get it all the way outside to Zaid, but he's missed him. Turned over. Nicholson. Into the center circle. That's a good tackle away from Sal Thompson. Hotram on the ball. I think it was Nzaleza who got in there. Onto El Nakshali. Tries to play ahead to his runner, but it's intercepted. Grounded ball in the middle. Nicholson flicks it on outside. United trying to set something up now. Back into the feet of Nicholson. Dupuis into the space. All the way outside, Lucas Medina. Medina in the corner of the box. Back to Chappett. Probing. Outside, Reynolds. Pass is deflected, but still finds Medina. Cuts it into the corner, draws the second defender. Sliding challenge from Zayden. And last touch was by Zayden, out for a corner. Medina also came in as a substitute in that batch of subs for United. Corner coming in now. Going to be swung in with the right. 4 men in the box, defenders and attackers looking into the setting sun. Corner comes in, and it's collected by Michael Forbes. Forbes drives a kick clear, but they couldn't keep it. Connor Henson in the middle. One back by Galaxy. Outside to Olabrede. The goal scorer, a dynamic attacking presence for this Badgers squad. The Golden Boot winner, Olabrede was during the Badger Cup a couple months ago. El Gabri. Side to Nzaleza, gets the cross in, and it's headed away. Up to the top of the box, and Reynolds will spirit that clear. Hotram will use Forbes. We've played 28 of the first 45. Back out to Hotram once again. Nzaleza. Lofted ball over the top, trying to get Olabrede in behind. Olabrede passes on ahead, but it's missed its target. He was trying to get it into the path of Galaxy. Instead, it went right to Kubarocic. United not wasting any time. Reynolds. And now they'll work it back to the back line. Jacob Tremonti. Back up to Reynolds. Lots of time and space for Reynolds. Finally sends one in over the top. Denied by the back line. Picked up by Medina. Out to Dupuis. Ball taken away. Galaxy. Across to Nzaleza. Grounded ball to El Gabri. We've got a man down for United. Referee says play on for now. El Gabri. Trying to get past Henson and does. Corner of the box. Fires. He was looking for that grounded cross in. Had a man on a run. The injured party for United has returned to his feet. Olabrede, the intended target of that cross, a grounded cross about 2 feet in front of Olabrede. If he had found his feet, very well could be 3-2 right now. So first changes for Badgers, Alex Brincat in the game. Slaman El Mutadi in as well, along with Ali Habhab. Exiting, Al Nakshali Al Bawari and Victor Olabrede. So a note about substitutions in this league, obviously at the semi-professional level, lots of different leagues have different rules. You may substitute basically as many of your guys as you have, but you're only allowed 3 substitution windows per half. And if a player exits the game, they are not allowed to return until that half is over. So, for example, for the Badgers, they just used their first of 3 substitution windows, and a yellow card has come out. Referee had the yellow card in his hand. I'm not sure who he showed it to. Abu Al-Ghabri is the recipient. So an early booking for him, 31 minutes in. Medina tries to get that one down the line, but instead puts it out for a goal kick. And more changes now coming in for the Badgers. Bailly Morgay and David Latanga will enter their second substitution window. So one more substitution window for the Badgers in this first half. And the players exiting, in addition to the players who exited just a moment ago, will not be able to re-enter until the second half. So it'll be Abu Al-Ghabri and Daniel Silva who will have their seats on the bench. A very busy first half. We're in the 32nd minute. United 3, Badgers 1. Bailly Morgay gets it poked away from him and out for a throw. Bailly, the kind of player you can put in a lot of different positions. You'll see him deployed throughout the formation, depending on what the team needs. Good goal scorer in the indoor season as well, as we will likely see here in a few months' time. Handball on Alex Brincat, who was trying to reach up and stop that one with his shoulder, and a foul given on Nzaleza, and the referee doesn't like that one at all. Going over to have a chat with Nzaleza. Looks like he's going to keep the cards in his pocket. But a free kick given. 32 yards from goal. Off the keeper's left-hand post. They've got 4 in the box now for United, setting it up very similarly to the way they had it set up for their first free kick from this distance earlier in the half. Now they're going to send in a 5th man to run, 2-man wall for the Badgers. Sent into the back post, and it's just a bit long for everyone, but it looks like Forbes got a fingertip on it while trying to punch it clear. So a corner's been given. You can tell this United squad work on their set pieces. They've created several chances from free kicks and corners so far. Even if all their goals have come from open play. That one to the back post, headed away. Sent away long, trying to find David Galaxy up top. battle for possession in midfield in the air. Ball finally hits the turf in possession of Troy United. Trying to spin away and get free. Sal Thompson plays down the line. Clay Dupuis, good short cross. And the secondary ball, Vinny Chapman, he might have been better off going for goal that time. Was trying to be unselfish and leave it off for someone who was making a run, but there wasn't anyone making the run, but it's immediately given away by the Badgers. Another chance maybe, that ball in across, there's no one there for it. Badgers making their own lives difficult with these giveaways. One led directly to the third goal back in the 18th minute. Back to Forbes. Forbes dancing with it. Forbes got to get that ball off his foot. Badgers get a bit lucky there. Now they have the ball in open space. Contested possession. Long ball ahead from Bailly. Tries to get it into Ali Habhab making the run. And Rochik comes way out of his box to just get it out of there. It looks like Troy is about to make another change. Will Lanham will make his first appearance. He will offer his spot on the bench to Luke Nicholson. Scored in the 10th and 12th to give United this advantage. Turned over. Lanham. Ball is lost. Picked up by El Mutadi. Zaleza down the line. El Mutadi turns to face up, working on the defender, works down to the goal line, and carries it out for a goal kick. Just an unforced error from the Badgers that time. Had lots of options and used none of them. '37th minute. And that one's pinged off of the attacker. Nick Settle collects the loose ball. Works it back to his back line. A high pressure from the Badgers. Their attackers trying to put some of that pressure on this back line. Maybe force a giveaway back here, but obviously it puts so much more pressure on your back line. Once they get free, that time put out for a throw. It might just be a 3-1 situation. You're down 2 goals. You know you need to kind of make your own luck a little bit, create some chances by disturbing the flow of the game, or maybe they feel like these United back four maybe aren't as comfortable on the ball, maybe forcing them to play the ball at their feet could cause some trouble. Not sure what the impetus is, but in any case, Badgers attackers being much more aggressive in defense here. Galaxy has options in the middle. Bailly. Zayden. Plays into feet. Alex Brincat. Dances around with it a little bit. Draws some defense. Still spinning. And now he's created some space and dribbles right through another, but draws the contact and a quick yellow. Yellow is out of the pocket very quickly for Sal Thompson. And Alex Brincat, frankly, got bailed out a little bit there. Took a lot of touches. But wins the free kick. 34 yards from the end line. Off the keeper's left-hand post. And now the Badgers are basically going to try to copy what United have already done on the other end. They're going to send men in and try to swing this one into the back post. Ali Habhab, the delivery man, to the back post. Head in! Oh, it's just over. I believe that's Unzaleza who got his head to it, could get over it, just over the bar. But that is the look you want in those free kick situations. A well-delivered ball by Ali Habhab. Unzaleza does well to get up and get a head to it. Couldn't score it, but That's the look you want. Looks like another change being made for United. They're coming off with a bit of a limp. Let's see. Trying to identify who he is. Seems to be favoring his left hamstring, perhaps, left ankle. Doesn't seem too much of an issue. Connor Henson is the one who has exited. Doesn't look too serious. Might just be a situation where they want to get him a few extra minutes at halftime, effectively. That one cleared off the attacker. Bounds back into Zayden, who gives it back to Forbes. 5 minutes left in the half before stoppage time, and there will probably be some, given the number of goals. Thumped on ahead. Pretty easily collected at the back by Tremonti. Trying to play through the middle. Badgers being much better about defending the short ball through the middle. They're reading it, anticipating it better. Some combination play on the outside from Troy as they try to free something up for a cross here. In it comes. Gets past the first wave and cleared away by the Badgers. Brincat tries to settle it. Last-ditch tackle by Reynolds to win the ball back for United. Thompson tries to flick it on to himself, finds a teammate who sends it into the box, but there's nobody there. Forbes will pick it up. 42nd minute. Troy United 3, Detroit Badgers 1. United out of substitution windows for that first half with that change just a moment ago. Galaxy. And that's just missed by Al-Muhtadi, and it rolls out for a throw. Just rolled right under his foot. Breeze starting to pick up at the back of these Troy United players. Right to left across your screen. Tackle from the front, and now we got a late whistle as Rochik comes up to it, and foul's going to be on Troy. And I think it was not for the tackle itself, but for something that happened after the tackle. Trying to get a look at who might have been involved. I think that Sal Thompson maybe. No, excuse me, it's Jeb Sneed, the captain, who was involved. He was brought low by some contact, and then it seems as though he did something from the ground that the referee did not like. So a free kick chance here for the Badgers in a pretty good position on the far side of the box. About 16 yards from the end line. And they'll look to swing this one into the back post once again. Got 6 men running in. Sent into the back post. Punched up in the air by Rochik. Out to the edge of the box where it's won by United. And now they're out on a run. Trying to hustle his way around the edge of the defense is Thompson. Keeps possession. Cuts it back in. Still manages to keep it at his feet. Grounded ball ahead is offline and intercepted by Latanga. Now the Badgers might try to push here. Galaxy carrying on the outside. Final 2 minutes of regular time in this first half. Back to Brincat. Michael Parmalee. Bailly trying to work a combination. Back to Brincat. Brincat swings it all the way across, well behind his intended target. Latanga was trying to make a run into the box. Brincat was hoping that he'd be there in support outside the box. And it rolls out for a throw. Referee just told the fourth official over on this side one more. Not sure if that's in reference to stoppage time or what. Maybe one more substitution window left for the Badgers, but I guess we'll find out soon enough. Final minute of this first half. Ball won by United. Lucas Medina in some space. Decides to give it back to his back line. As Troy prepares for one more charge before the break, perhaps. Nick Settle through the middle, and that's turned aside. Michael Parmalee into the middle. Now the Badgers have it in the attacking half. Brincat plays it along. Bailly into the corner of the box. Bailly looking for the ball in, across. It's knocked up in the air and cleared away. Taken by the Badgers as we enter stoppage time. Turned over. Lanham down the line. Wants Thompson. Big coming together there. And a late whistle. The referee will give the foul. And a free kick for Detroit. Detroit trying to hustle here. Ball sent away. Turned over again, and now the Badgers, they got numbers up if they hurry. Trying to drive into the space. He's got Brincat in the middle, and he's tackled from behind, and that's an easy whistle. Ali Habhab brought down. They're going to get the ball in quickly. On the edge of the box. The shot! Saved by Rochik. Interesting decision there from the Badgers. They decide to keep it going. Kind of an even numbers situation as opposed to setting up a set-piece opportunity. That seems to be what they prefer, is open play to formal set pieces. The referee blows his whistle, and that will bring us to the end of half number one. Plenty to discuss after 45 minutes. Troy United looked like they were going to run away with this thing. They were up 3-0 after only 18 minutes. Victor Olabrede's goal brought it back within 2, and play's been pretty even the rest of the half, but still a lot to be done for Detroit. They trail 3-1 at the break. We will take a break ourselves, and we'll be back for the second half. You are watching the Midwest Premier League on the Detroit Badgers YouTube channel. positive note. Troy's in the white, Detroit in the black. The sun's setting now a little bit further behind the press box. See those shadows getting cast across the field. Clay Dupuis tries to send it in. It's knocked down by Ron Hotrum. Loose ball picked up by Sal Thompson trying to get it into the box. But turned aside by Detroit. Intercepted by Sneed. Sneed is knocked down, and the referee blows his whistle, doesn't like it. Free kick upcoming. And now some kind of change being made. Olabreda had to step off and now step back into the action. Not sure what that's all about. Now here comes the free kick, sent into the far post and headed clear. David Galaxy. On to Al Gabri. Trying to work in combination down the wing. Back into Galaxy. Cuts it back to the top of the box. Nice combination by Galaxy is in. It's blocked and a whistle goes. He's offside. Good short passing play between him and Ali Zayden. But he got just a little ahead of that last defender. And the AR caught him offside. Down the line by Dupuis. Lanham. Lanham cross coming in. Oh, he had a man wide open in front of the box, but he's missed him. Back to the top, Reynolds, dispossessed. Brincat. On to Galaxy. Got some help in the middle. Working into the space. Back to Brincat. Brincat has support on his left. He will use it in Zaleza. Back to Bailly. Outside in Zaleza from El Gabri. Back to Bailly. Driving in at the corner of the box. Has a go, and that's well wide. Eight shots for the Badgers in that first half. 3 of them were on target, 1 of them in the back of the net. 10 shots for Troy. And the only ones that were on frame were the ones that ended up in the back of the net. Foul given on Detroit. Free kick chance here for Troy. .25 yards out off the keeper's right-hand post. Sending in 4 to the back post. Headed down and into the side netting. The ball hung in the air a little bit too close to the post, I think. I believe that was Aiden Reynolds. Got up, got ahead to it. 50th minute now. And a foul on Jeb Sneed. So he was going up to try to win that one. Free kick, they get it in quick. El Gabri creates some space, tries to motor past the defender down to the goal line, looking for the cross option, and it's out off the defender, and it's out for a corner. El Gabri was standing out of play when the ball struck him after striking the defender, and according to the assistant referee on that far corner, the ball crossed the line before it struck El Gabri. So a corner coming in. Bailly will send it in. 6 men in the box. Sent in short and immediately headed away. Ball flipped over the top. Forbes coming out to it. Heads it away. Goalkeeper miles out of his box, and now it's been lost. They might try to chip him from 50. No, they're going to send it off to Clay Dupuis. That might have been a look. That ball played over the top into the box, and Forbes will watch it to the goal line, but the attacker gets there first, tries to get it back into the play, and Forbes will be able to collect it off the goal line. Forbes, because he came all the way out off that header, he was still at the top of his box. When Troy had the ball 50 yards from goal, they could have tried to chip him. They opted not to, got a good opportunity out of it anyway. I don't think Forbes saw the attacker, or maybe he thought that the ball was going out of play. But anyway, here they come again, the shot and a goal. (4-1). Troy almost scored off the break a moment ago. Badgers were able to get it away, but Troy immediately launched another attack. And now it's 4-1. The lead back up to 3. They'll feel a lot better about it now than maybe they did a few minutes ago. Badgers were looking very positive. Almost cut the lead to 1 a couple of different times. But now the hill has become much steeper. We're into the 53rd minute. They'll play it back to Forbes. Forbes touches it past the defender. On to Latanga, now outside. Into the feet of El Gabri, now in the middle by E. Lots of space for him, trying to send in Zeleza ahead into the space, and Zeleza decides to stay back and offer support in the middle. Bringcat. Bailly plays it over the top into the corner, and there's just no communication right now between these Badgers attackers. They are not on the same page. Tariq Lamardi, who is not in the game because of injury, he's not playing today. He's over on the touchline telling Zeleza what the entire bench wanted him to do, which was try to make that run into the corner, and Zeleza thought his role there was to offer support. Once again, the Badgers feeling out of sorts, kind of the way they did at about the 20-minute mark of this game. It seemed like they had gotten it back together. But now down 3 goals again. They seem to be a bit panicked, a bit frustrated. In the middle of that shot is nowhere near anything from Sal Thompson. And out for another goal kick. They get it in quickly to Hotrum. Sends it over the top and headed away by Sneed out for a throw. Zeleza down the line. And headed out once more by Sneed. Throw in the middle, and the foot came up. It's been a problem for the Badgers this season. Had a handful of illegal throws, which at this level of the game is something that you would really want to see eliminated. And that's a pretty easy foul to call, and Bailly Morguet went way up and over and got way over Lanham. Pretty easy call to make. Referee will give the yellow card as well. 10 minutes into the second half. And that fourth goal for Troy really seems to have put this Badgers team in just a bad mental state. They seem to be out of sorts again after it looked like they had it all figured out and that they were back to playing the way they wanted to play at the end of that first half. Looked much more comfortable. Looked like it was going to be a game in the second half. But it has not been so far. That's a foul that will give the ball back to Detroit. They're going to get the ball in quickly, and that's the thing that we've seen from Detroit all season. They don't want to set up the set pieces as much as they just want to get the ball back into play. We saw that at the end of the first half, too. Maybe had an opportunity off a set piece, but decided they wanted to get the ball back into live action more quickly instead of trying to work from the set piece. Zayden finally gets it off his foot. Sangare, he's knocked down, and that's a whistle that the Troy bench doesn't like. Would have been in on goal had the referee not blown it dead. I think that might be why the referee blew it dead, was strictly because that tackle did create the opportunity. If that had happened in the middle of play, it might not have garnered quite the same reaction. Bailly. Zayden. El-Gabri can't corral the pass. Now Troy moving in the opposite direction once more. Thompson. Through ball trying to find Lanham. Does. Lanham tries to move past Hotram. Cuts it back. Ball to the top of the box. Thompson. Still has the ball on his foot. Back to the top. Reynolds. Good stop from Forbes at the near post. And cleared away. Brinkat tries to spin away from the challenge. Turns right into another one. Chappett. Back to Dupuis. The top of the box. Has a go. Blocked by Nzaleza. Ball looked like it struck him on the arm, but no whistle. Bailly. Long ball ahead. Keeper comes out to deal with it. Galaxy was just barely onside. Out for a throw. Played 58 minutes. 4-1 Troy. In the middle. El-Gabri. Still dancing with it and lost it. Able to get it back. Under heavy pressure. Gets the ball off his foot finally. Bailly. Working to his left. Trying to get Nzaleza to make that run again. Nzaleza checks into the space instead. Spins away from the defender. It's poked away and out for a Badgers throw-in. But Bailly and Nzaleza now having a conversation on the bench, or with the bench rather. Like he thinks that someone else should be making that run and that his role there is to offer support. Throw-in is won by the defense and cleared. Sangare will give it back to his keeper. Hotram lifts it on, brought down on the chest by Olabrede. That's a nice combination with El-Gabri. Olabrede in the open space. Olabrede, now he's going to look inwards for a cross. Cross is blocked. Nzaleza tees up from the edge of the box, cuts it back, maybe. Decides to swing it into the back post. Poked out to the top of the box and then successfully cleared by the United back line. It'll bounce out towards the touchline, not quite out. Zayden will get it back into play. Galaxy And that one's sent behind, nowhere near anything for a goal kick. We are an hour deep. And the Badgers in a hole that is 3 goals deep. They have just not been able to put together 90 good minutes this season. They'll put together bits and pieces of good games. Then it feels like they get themselves out of sorts when things start to go poorly. Sometimes they stay locked in and they make these comebacks and create compelling games out of games that seemed lost. But today it looked like they had done that for a minute, but in this second half they have not looked the part. Out to Dupuis. Dupuis, lots of space for the cross. Sent in, swing and a miss. Now Galaxy tries to get it ahead, just misses El Gabri entirely. And Troy have no reason to be in a hurry. 3 goals to the good and a half an hour to kill. Came to this one 15 points in their 9 games. Looking to end with a solid 6 wins in 10 matches. All the way outside, Olabrede. Gives it back to Nzaleza. Bailly. Swung across looking for Zayden, stepping in front, good stop from Lucas Medina. Medina in the middle, intercepted by Hotrum. Bailly tries to play it through the gate through the middle, and we have a foul on El Gabri, and he's off. Referee just sent El Gabri off. A second yellow. Referee now clarifying to the bench that it is a second yellow, not a straight red. He held the red card aloft, which indicates a straight red, which that foul would have been quite a lot for a red. It would have been an interesting call for that to be a straight red, but it is his second yellow, and that's enough for the referee to send Abu El Gabri to an early shower. And now at this point, with the Badgers down 3 goals and a man, what little light there was left seems to be flickered out. But to the point we were making earlier, when the Badgers can put together a full 90, they'll be competitive in this league, but the challenge remains that they have these stretches where things go wrong, they get themselves out of sorts. Maybe they fight back and get back into it. Maybe they don't. But too many moments like that, too many bad fouls, too many bad goals given away. That ball in a cross. Another swing and a miss. Sal Thompson on the cross. The Badgers just looking lethargic at the moment. Hard to stay energized when you've earned no points through the first 8 games of your campaign and you're down 3 goals and a man in game number 9. So maybe you're not at your best, but Badgers would have liked this day to go very, very different. Played in deep. Dupuis able to save it across, but there isn't anybody there. Be pretty easily picked up by the Badgers. And, excuse me, it actually ended up going over the goal line for a goal kick. So let's get it back to Forbes for that. Both teams seem pretty committed to just seeing out the final 25 minutes or so at this point. No real reason for Troy to push for more goals. This is the end of their season today. For the Badgers, they're hoping to get that one more match with Pontiac FC in if that game can get rescheduled. Thompson wins the ball, tries to send it on. Headed away by Ron Hotrum. Bailly back to his keeper. Bailly again. Olabrede, nice little spin to get free. And now here comes Olabrede down the wing. Has some help in the middle. Cuts it back to Brincat. 20 yards out, has a go, well wide. Defender got a piece of it out for a corner. Grounded corner. Trying to find Latanga, who didn't get a good look at it. Chaput tries to get it out. Gets knocked to the ground by Galaxy. It rolls out for a throw. They get it in quickly. Back to the top of the box. Reynolds tries to settle it, gets it away clear. Sangare, Hotrum, taken away. Attempted ball through is intercepted by Sangare. Back to Forbes. Taken away in the midfield. Aiden Reynolds on the outside. One-mans him, shoots, it's over. Will Lanham trying to get his name in the scorer's book. Was able to get around the defender, but skied the finish, and now the backup brigade coming in for Troy. Clay Dupuis is off. Jackson Deere is on. Morrison is on. Aiden Reynolds is off. Sal Thompson exits. Vinny Chaput exits. John Nino back in the game. Jacob Tremonti now is up top. Ball played through the going to be back in the back line there for Troy. So Nino, Deere, Tremonti, Morrison, I think, in. Dupuis, Chaput, Reynolds, and Thompson out. So replacing the reserves who started the second half with the starters who started the first half. We're halfway through the second half and a whistle. Ball was moving on that goal kick, so they're going to make him tee it up and try it again. But at this point, it is mostly about seeing it out for these two teams. If there wasn't a red card involved, then maybe you would continue to push here if you're Detroit, but the situation has more or less become impossible now. Mohamed Al-Bawari getting ready to check in for Detroit. Back to Forbes. David Latanga. Through the middle, Alex Brincat. Brincat plays it through, and Olabrede is offside. Olabrede tried to hold up, but flag went up, and they didn't even whistle him for it. Ball back in for Troy, as they won the ball back without needing the whistle. Watkins over to Medina. Down the line, Lanham, cross in. Back to the top of the box, the shot is wide. Changes for Badgers, Mustafa El Nakshali will re-enter, as will Mohamed Abouari and Ali Habhab. To play the final 20 minutes or so. And we'll see who will make their exit. Looks like Victor Olabrede, perhaps. It will in fact be Olabrede and David Latanga, who are off. And at least one Badgers player exited over there on the far side of the field. Trying to see who it is. I think it's... Actually, I'm not sure. That might be David Galaxy. Whistle goes, free kick, and now some nonsense. Nick Settle took a dive after being shoved by Mohamed Sangare. Sangare upset that Settle was kind of playing it on as though there hadn't been a whistle. But no need for any of that. We're in the final 20 minutes now. A foolish red card, a foolish injury. It's the last thing any of these teams want. Ball over the top. Evan Morrison is nowhere near onside. Badgers will get this back into play. Brincat. All the way across, intercepted. Lanham. Taken away by Brincat. Brincat lifts it on, looking for the space, but it's intercepted by Jeb Sneed. In the middle now. Swung all the way across. Lucas Medina. Medina to the goal line, cuts it back. There's no one there for him, and it's intercepted. It is David Galaxy who exited the game over on the far side and has made his way around. Just to confirm that he was the third player to leave during that last substitution window. Bailly's pass is intercepted by John Nino, and then Nino can't keep it, and it ends up in the arms of Michael Forbes. Breeze has picked up. Temperatures drop now that the sun is set. Temperatures actually into the mid-70s now. Very pleasant summer evening in southeast Michigan. Maybe a little more pleasant for Badgers fans if the score didn't look like this. And a foul given on Al Bouari in some argument. And again, this is where you don't want to be foolish, right? You don't want to make the kind of mistake that will make your life harder in a future match, or could end up with any real consequences beyond these 90 minutes. Shot from distance, right into the arms of Forbes, who catches it with confidence. 3 changes about to come in. 2 for Detroit, 1 for Troy. They're going to get Carter McMahon in, it looks like, to get him some reps in the goal. Ali Habhab just walks it out over the goal line. So for the first time, Kuba Rochik, who gave up 1 in this one, was tested from time to time, but overall, pretty straightforward day at the office for him. Carter McMahon wearing number 1 will check in for him. for the Badgers. Alex Brincat will have a seat, as will Bayi Morgay. Slaman El Mutadi in the game for the first time this second half. Whistle goes offside. And whistle goes offside on the other end immediately as well. 15 minutes left. Daniel Silva has also re-entered the game. He was the second substitute there for the Badgers. Ball out for a throw. Troy will get it in quickly. Evan Morrison in the middle. Through Morrison, offside again. And that shot came way after the whistle, so he's going to get a warning for delay of game. Will he get a booking for delay of game? Nope, doesn't look like it. Referee's just going to have a word with him. Whistle goes. You can't have the shot after the whistle goes. This isn't the NBA. I think if you're Connor James or Joe Brincat, your primary concern now is just get out of this game without anybody getting hurt or doing something stupid. And we've seen antics on this field. Remember during the Badger Cup, there was a game that had to be suspended because of some action outside of the play between some Badgers players and some players from another club. So it's always in the back of your mind a little bit. In a situation like this, a game that's out of hand, you just want to keep everything under control. So far, the referee doing a good job of that. And the players keeping a lid on it for the most part as well. As Troy United look to see out the final 15 minutes of their season with another win. Ball crossed in. Knocked out to the top of the box. El Mutadi tries to settle on it. Can't keep it. Cleared away. Working into space. Lots of space. Keeper comes out. He's moved right past him. The shot in the back of the net. Will Lenham. 5-1. And some gentle applause for the goal that is purely cosmetic in nature. Connor Henson, who left the game with a knockback in the first, is going to check back in. And Luke Nicholson, who scored 2 in the first half, will also re-enter. So good to see Henson okay. And this game has been over for some time. As we said, that's just one for the record books, nothing more. As Will Lanham and Nick Settle both exit. Lanham, happy to get one. Got about 12 minutes to go. And I can't imagine the officials are going to try to keep these guys for much stoppage time, given how this game has gone. Jeb Sneed lifts over the top and finds a man. Henson. Good pressure there on John Nino by Al-Bawari. Al-Bawari complaining to the official. He was claiming that he got his jersey pulled, but referee did not seem particularly convinced. Nicholson, 20 yards out, has a go. Bang! Bottom corner. Couldn't have met it any better. And that's 3 for him. Comes in as a substitute And a yellow card is given to Al-Bawari. He's been chatting at the official for some time now. And now he's been sent off. And this is exactly the kind of thing you wanted to avoid. And Al-Bawari still getting his money's worth. Fortunately, it seems that Al-Bawari is the only one who is particularly upset by what just transpired. Michael Parmalee will enter the game now, replacing Sangare. We're into the final 10 minutes, and now the Badgers down 5 goals and 2 men. What are you going to do? Referee's having a conversation. And they're just going to immediately shoot this off the kickoff spot. Ali Zayden. I mean, you might as well at this point. Not a whole lot else to do. 6-1 the score. Just been a dominant second half from Troy United. They scored the first 3. They were up 3-0 after 18 minutes. Looked like they were going to run away with this thing. Badgers responded with a goal. Actually played very well through the end of the first half. Morrison back to Deer. Sends it across. Danny Watkins. It's Nino, and flag is up. But it was 3-1 at halftime, but the Badgers looked so much better in the second half of the first 45 that you felt like it was going to be a competitive second half, and then United scored, and it all fell apart from there as they looked to score again. Cross is blocked. Second effort on the cross. That header is deflected out towards the touchline and out for a throw. But once United went up 4-1, and Abu El Gabri picked up a second yellow, went down to 10 men. At that point, whatever energy was left completely sapped from this Badgers squad. The shot is blocked. The second effort is wide, and John Nino trying to get his name in the book, unsuccessful in the attempt. And ever since then, it's just gone from bad to worse. Clay Dupuis added one. Or excuse me, I should say Will Lanham added one. Luke Nicholson added one. Mohamed Al-Bawari was sent off for dissent, so now 2 men are out of the game for the Badgers. And that's a foul. Free kick for Troy. But the second half has been nothing but bad news for the Badgers, and they trail 6-1 in what very well might be their final game of the season. They still have a game that needs to be rescheduled with Pontiac FC, but we don't know if that game's going to happen. If it does, it'll probably happen here, and we'll probably have it for you on the Detroit Badgers YouTube channel. That ball is through, and guess what? Offside. Troy United just having a kickabout now. The Badgers kind of longingly glancing at that clock, saying, can you please just hit 45 so we can be done? Referees won't have any reason to keep this thing going once the 90 minutes have been played. And when you're down 2 men, like, what can you do? I mean, Troy just going to kind of do whatever they want and try to get some guys some goals maybe who haven't scored much this season. That is the vibe at Star International Academy this evening. Only 3 men in the back line for the Badgers because, again, you're down to 9. You're down to a skeleton crew out there. And Troy, it's the last 6 minutes of their season now, so there's no reason for them not to try to add some goals, have some fun. Luke Nicholson, ball in across, trying to make it 7 is Morrison, but he shanked that horribly, scored one back in the first, unable to make it 2. And now Mohamed Al-Bawari, who is now out of his uniform and is walking around the field, presumably to his car, had some more words for the official. The official just trying to wave him on his way. Now Tariq Lamhardy is trying to just get him to continue on his way. No one else on the Detroit bench or on the field for the Badgers seems to have any sympathy for Al-Bawari's plight, which is probably so much the better. Everyone else seems quite satisfied with just getting this game over with. If this is the end of the season for the Badgers, it'll be a disappointing one for sure, not just for points reasons, but also they definitely let some results slip away, some games that they could have won, could have drawn, that they didn't. This is a team that is better than 0 points in the table, but you are what your record says you are, as they say. And for the Badgers, it would be unsatisfying, to say the least, to end this season with no points, as Evan Morrison is successful in his bid to add one that time. It's now 7-1. And nothing really the Badgers can do other than watch the last few minutes tick away. Disappointing way for a disappointing campaign to end, if this is indeed how it ends for the Badgers. Again, if that game gets rescheduled, we'll have it for you here on the Badgers YouTube channel, live from Star International Academy. But it's very likely that the next time we'll see these guys is the indoor season, and that's always fun. The Badgers were a late substitute into their league last year, but now will be full members of that league for this upcoming season, so that shot is blocked. Good move by Ali Zayden to try to create something. But MASL 3 will welcome the Badgers as full-fledged members in 2025, so a league they were competitive in their matches last year too, so a league that they will feel that they have a real opportunity to win come the indoor season. We'll have those games for you right here on the Detroit Badgers YouTube channel. I'll be on the call. A lot of familiar faces, a lot of your favorite Badgers players will be on that team. So definitely something worth being excited for, and probably better worth focusing on than the result here tonight. Last couple of minutes yet to elapse. And for a lot of these guys, the last couple of minutes might just be that little bit of the end of the trial, as it were, for the winter season, as that ball's just given away. Troy thinking about trying to add another one. John Nino sends it out for Morrison, and Morrison is dispossessed by Daniel Silva. Referee keeps his whistle silent. Ali Habhab tries to move past the defender, but it's knocked away by Zayden. Zayden now in the box. Zayden trying to cut it back, and it's deflected and out by Jeb Sneed. It'll be a corner late for the Badgers, and might as well just send everyone forward for it. So we are into the final minute of regular time. They're just going to get it in short. Ollie Habhab down the line. Habhab cuts it back again at the goal line. Tries to rip it in across. And it's cleared. And now Troy will have one more push, it seems. Morrison. Back across. Nino. Outside. The shot. Wide from Luke Nicholson. I can't imagine that the officials are going to bother with stoppage time in a game like this one. Slaman El Mutadi. Dispossessed by Watkins. He hits the deck and is fouled as we reach the end of the 90. He's holding up he's just said he held up a 0, and I think that was an indicator of stoppage time to the fourth official. So basically at the next good chance to stop the game should be over. Flag goes up for offside. The shot is wide from Habhab anyway. Now we just heard "Give me 1 minute" from the field, so referee will give exactly 1 minute, and that's going to call it. And the Troy United players growing a little bit. They wanted to try one more time, but they got 7 tonight. Not the way you want to end your campaign if you're the Badgers. If you're Troy, you're quite happy with it. A 7-1 drubbing and a thorough outclassing, especially in the second half. For the Badgers, nothing but frustration. Maybe they will get a chance to redeem themselves with one more match in the Midwest Premier League schedule, but if they don't, we're going to try again in Massel 3. But in any case, thank you so much for joining us both tonight and all season. Hopefully we get one more crack at it. But whether or not we do, we'll be here for it, whether it's indoor or outdoor, on the Detroit Badgers YouTube channel. For all of us at the Detroit Badgers, for my producer and Bryn Cat, I'm Colton Wesley. Thank you so much for joining us. Final score, Troy United 7, Detroit Badgers 1. You've been watching the Detroit Badgers on the Detroit Badgers YouTube channel.